All right, so we're diving deep today into weight loss drugs in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We've got research articles, expert opinions, the whole shebang, really figuring out what really works, what's just hype, how to make smart decisions about your health.
Exactly.
And get ready for some surprises, especially when we compare all those trendy supplements to what the science actually says.
Oh, yeah. You've got a lot of options here in New Zealand for prescriptions to over-the-counter supplements.
Right.
And, of course, there's always the natural route.
Before we get into all that, though, these drugs aren't for everyone, right? What's the criteria to be considered a candidate?
Yeah, so it's pretty much aligned with the global standards, a BMI of 30 or higher,
Okay.
or 27 plus if you're dealing with obesity-related conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure.
So it's not just about wanting to, shed a few kilos for summer.
Right.
There are real health implications here.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you do meet the criteria, it's super important to remember, right?
Yeah.
That these medications are tools. They work with lifestyle changes, not as like standalone solutions.
There's not magic bullets.
No magic bullet. Got it.
Yeah.
So let's dive into those prescription options.
All right.
One I've been hearing a lot about is Saxenda or liraglutide.
Liraglutide, yeah.
What's the deal with this one?
So Saxenda is a GLP-1 receptor agonist.
Okay.
It basically mimics a hormone that helps regulate your appetite, so it makes you feel fuller faster.
So your body thinks you've eaten more than you have.
Exactly. Yeah,
So you're just naturally less hungry.
pretty much.
No more late night snack attacks.
Yeah.
Sounds promising, but what kind of results are we talking about?
Well, there was one study published in the New England Journal of Medicine
Okay.
found that people taking Saxenda lost an average of 9.2% of their body weight over a year.
That's significant.
It is. Yeah, that translates to about 18 kilos for someone who weighs 200.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive result.
Yeah.
But what's the catch? There's always a catch, right?
Well, there are potential side effects, just like with any medication.
Sure.
The most common ones are nausea and digestive issues.
Okay.
In rarer cases, there's a potential for pancreatitis,
Oh,
which is a serious inflammation of the pancreas.
right. Definitely something to discuss with a doctor.
Yeah.
Now, another one that caught my eye is Xenical or Orlistat.
Orlistat.
This one works in a totally different way, right?
It does. Yeah, how so?
Xenical blocks your body from absorbing about 30% of the fat you eat.
Really?
Yeah, so think of it as like a barrier in your digestive system.
Okay.
Prevents some of that fat from ever entering your bloodstream.
So less fat absorbed means less weight gain.
Makes sense, right?
It does. But how much weight loss can someone realistically expect?
Well, studies have shown that people taking Xenical can lose up to 5% of their body weight over 6 to 12 months.
Okay. So less dramatic than Saxenda,
Uh-huh.
but still potentially meaningful.
Yeah, for sure. What about side effects with this one? Are there any downsides to essentially blocking fat absorption?
Well, some of the side effects can be, let's say, less than desirable.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're talking oily stools and, well, let's just say you might want to stay close to a bathroom.
Okay, noted. Definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Contrave,
Oh,
a
right.
combination of bupropion and naltrexone. This one seems to target a different aspect of weight loss.
You're right, it does.
How so?
Contrave works on the brain,
Okay.
specifically on neurotransmitters that affect appetite and cravings.
Okay.
You know, those intense urges you get for sugary or fatty foods?
Yeah.
Contrave helps dampen those signals.
So for those of us who struggle with willpower, this could be a helpful tool.
Exactly, and studies show it can lead to an average weight loss of 5 to 10% over a year.
Okay, so similar to Saxenda.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, so that's 3 different approaches then.
Yeah.
So they're working on the gut,
Mm-hmm.
Xenical blocking fat, and Contrave targeting the brain.
That's right.
Quite a variety.
Yeah.
What about phentermine?
Okay.
It's a stimulant that's been around for a while?
It has, yeah. Phentermine suppresses appetite and boosts metabolism.
Okay.
So it can lead to a fairly quick weight loss of 3 to 5 kilos
Wow. Is it?
within just 3 months.
Sounds like a tempting quick fix.
Yeah.
What's the downside?
The downside is there's a risk of dependency.
Okay.
Phentermine can also cause insomnia, increased heart rate, and dizziness.
Right, so not for everyone.
Definitely not suitable for everyone, especially those with heart conditions.
Good to know. Now, there's one more on the prescription side I'm particularly curious about. Mounjaro,
Okay, yeah.
or tirzepatide.
Tirzepatide, yeah.
This is a newer medication, isn't it?
It is, and the results from clinical trials have been quite impressive.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking up to 20% weight loss, which is significantly more than any of the other drugs we've discussed.
Wow, 20%. That's huge.
It is.
How does it work?
So it's actually similar to Saxenda
Okay.
in that it's a GLP-1 receptor agonist. but it also targets another hormone involved in regulating blood sugar and appetite.
Oh, I see.
So this kind of dual action seems to be what gives it the edge.
So it tackles weight loss from multiple angles.
Yeah,
Is it available in New Zealand yet?
not quite yet,
Okay.
but it's expected to be introduced soon, so
Exciting.
it'll be interesting to see how it performs in real-world settings.
I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that one.
Yeah,
Now let's shift gears and talk about those over-the-counter supplements
okay.
that are always tempting us with promises of easy weight loss.
Ah, yes, the world of quick fixes.
Right.
This is where we need to tread carefully because the science often doesn't back up the hype.
Yeah, for sure.
Shall we start with Garcinia cambogia?
Okay, I've seen that one everywhere.
Yeah.
What's the story with Garcinia cambogia?
So it contains HCA,
Okay,
or hydroxycitric acid,
right.
which is supposed to reduce appetite and block fat production.
Mm-hmm.
However, the results are pretty mixed.
Mixed in what way?
Well, some studies have shown a very modest weight loss of 1 to 2 kilos over 12 weeks.
Okay.
But others have found no effect at all.
Wow.
And there are potential downsides, too.
Oh, like what?
Garcinia cambogia has been linked to digestive issues
Okay.
and even liver damage in some cases.
So it's not something to take lightly.
No, definitely not.
All right, proceed with caution on that one.
Yeah,
What about green tea extract?
okay.
Surely all those antioxidants must do something for weight loss.
Well, green tea does contain catechins,
Okay.
which can boost metabolism and fat burning.
Mm-hmm.
However, the effect is quite small
Okay.
and usually only noticeable when combined with exercise.
So no sipping green tea on the couch and watching the kilos melt away.
Afraid not.
Okay.
It's important to remember that even supplements derived from natural ingredients aren't magic bullets.
Right, yeah.
They need to be part of a broader, healthy lifestyle.
All right, 2 down, 2 to go on our OTC list.
Okay,
What about apple cider vinegar pills?
right.
I know people who swear by apple cider vinegar for all sorts of things.
Yeah, and while apple cider vinegar itself might have some digestive benefits,
Okay.
the pills haven't been shown to produce any significant weight loss.
Really?
You might see a tiny reduction, but nothing to get excited about.
And probably not worth the potential stomach discomfort
Yeah.
and tooth enamel erosion
Exactly.
that some people experience.
Yeah.
What about our last contender, CLA?
All right, so CLA, or conjugated linoleic acid, it claims to boost fat burning and improve metabolism.
Okay.
Some studies do show a very gradual weight loss of 1 to 2 kilos over several months.
So again, minimal results.
Yeah, nothing dramatic.
Any risks associated with CLA?
Like some of the other supplements we've discussed, there are potential liver risks
Okay.
associated with long-term use of CLA.
So it seems like the recurring theme with these OTC supplements is minimal results and potential risks.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the takeaway message for our listeners considering these options?
Approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism, I would say. Don't expect miracles.
Right.
Weigh the potential risks against the likely small benefits.
Okay.
And always consult your doctor before starting any new supplement.
Especially if you have underlying health conditions.
Yeah, for sure.
Solid advice. Now, before we move on to natural weight loss approaches,
Okay.
let's take a moment to reflect on the prescription medications
Mm-hmm.
and over-the-counter options we've covered so far.
Yeah, we've seen a range of approaches,
Yeah.
each with its own pros and cons.
Right.
It's important to remember that no single solution will work for everyone.
Exactly. It's about finding the right approach for your individual needs and circumstances
For sure.
in consultation with your healthcare provider. Always good advice.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be back to explore those natural weight loss approaches.
Sounds good.
So we've talked about prescription weight loss drugs and those tempting but often underwhelming over-the-counter supplux.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious to explore some of the natural approaches.
Okay.
These might not offer like quick fixes,
Right.
but they often come with benefits beyond just weight loss, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Natural approaches can be more sustainable and holistic, you
Yeah.
know. They address weight management as part of overall well-being.
Okay, so let's start with intermittent fasting.
All right.
It's been gaining a lot of traction lately. What's the basic idea behind it?
Sure.
And are there like different ways to do it?
Yeah, so intermittent fasting involves cycling between periods of eating and fasting.
Okay.
It's not about what you eat, but when you eat.
So it's like a scheduled eating pattern rather than a restrictive diet.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
One popular method is the 16.8 approach, where you fast for 16 hours and have an 8-hour window for eating.
Okay, so for example,
For example, you might skip breakfast and have your first meal at noon, then finish dinner by 8 p.m.
right, and then there's the 5.2 method, right?
Yeah.
You eat normally for 5 days and restrict calories for 2 non-consecutive days.
That's right.
Okay, so the research on intermittent fasting,
Hmm.
is it pretty conclusive or is it still evolving?
It's still evolving, but there's growing evidence for its potential benefits,
Okay.
from weight management to improved insulin sensitivity and even cellular repair.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's about more than just skipping a meal or two.
right.
It's about giving your body a chance to, like, reset and recharge.
Precisely.
Now let's talk about another classic approach.
Okay.
High-protein, low-carb diets.
Yeah, we've got a whole spectrum here. Keto, Atkins, paleo.
Lots of options, but they all share a common thread, right?
Yeah, they do.
Cutting back on carbs and upping protein intake.
Exactly.
What's the thinking behind that?
The idea is that by reducing carbohydrates,
Mhm.
you force your body to burn fat for fuel
Okay,
instead of rely on glucose from carbs.
I see.
And we added protein, helps you feel fuller for longer.
Right.
And preserve muscle mass.
But these diets can be pretty restrictive, especially for people who love their bread and pasta.
Yeah.
Are there any downsides to consider?
Yeah, they're definitely not for everyone.
Okay,
Some people experience side effects like fatigue, headaches, or constipation,
okay,
especially in the initial stages as their body adjusts.
right.
It's also important to make sure you're getting enough nutrients from a variety of sources.
So working with a dietitian or nutritionist could be helpful
Absolutely, yeah.
to make sure you're doing it safely and effectively.
For sure.
And regardless of your dietary approach, regular exercise and strength training are crucial, right?
Oh, absolutely.
For overall health and weight management.
Yeah, you can't forget about moving your body.
Right. What are the key benefits of incorporating both cardio and strength training into a weight loss plan?
Well, cardio, like brisk walking or cycling, helps burn calories
Okay.
and improve cardiovascular health.
Hmm.
Strength training, on the other hand,
Yeah.
builds muscle mass, which boosts your metabolism and helps you burn more calories even at rest.
So it's not just about shedding pounds, it's about building a stronger, healthier body overall.
Exactly.
And let's not overlook the mental and emotional aspects of weight management.
Right.
Behavioral therapy and mindful eating techniques can be incredibly helpful,
They can, yeah.
especially for people who struggle with emotion eating or mindless snacking.
Mm-hmm.
How do these approaches work?
Well, behavioral therapy helps you identify and modify unhealthy eating habits
Okay.
and develop coping mechanisms for emotional triggers.
So it's about like understanding the why behind the behavior.
Exactly.
What about mindful eating?
Mindful eating encourages you to slow down, pay attention to your body's hunger and fullness cues, and savor each bite.
It sounds like it's about developing a healthier relationship with food
Yeah,
rather than viewing it as the enemy.
precisely. It's about tuning into your body signals and making conscious choices that support your overall well-being.
Now, while we've been exploring all these potential benefits of various weight loss approaches, it's important to acknowledge that weight isn't always the best indicator of overall health.
That's a really good point.
Right? Like we can get so fixated on the number on the scale that we forget about the bigger picture.
Exactly. Someone could be at a normal weight, but still have unhealthy habits,
Right.
but put them at risk for chronic diseases.
So it's about looking beyond just weight and focusing on a whole range of factors that contribute to a healthy and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. Things like getting enough sleep, managing stress effectively, nurturing strong social connections, and finding joy in movement, all these contribute to overall well-being regardless of your weight.
I love that perspective. It's about shifting our focus from chasing an arbitrary number on the scale to embracing a holistic view of health that encompasses all aspects of our lives.
Beautifully said.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from prescription drugs to natural approaches and the importance of a holistic view of health.
Yeah.
Now, what about the future? What breakthroughs are on the horizon?
Ooh, good question. It's an exciting time to be in this field.
Okay.
Researchers are working on some groundbreaking treatments that could really revolutionize how we approach weight management.
That sounds intriguing. What are some of the most promising areas of research?
Well, one area generating a lot of buzz is developing drugs that mimic the effects of bariatric surgery.
Oh, wow. So we're talking medications that could provide like similar benefits to surgery,
Yeah,
but without the invasiveness and potential risks.
that's the idea, yeah.
Okay.
These medications, known as incretin mimetics or GLP-1 agonist, have shown remarkable results in clinical trials,
Okay.
leading to significant weight loss and improvements in blood sugar control.
Now, I remember we talked about GLP-1 agonists earlier
Yeah.
when discussing Saxenda Mounjaro. Are these the same types of medications?
They are, and while they're currently approved for treating type 2 diabetes, They're being investigated for weight management in people without diabetes.
That could be a game changer for many people struggling with obesity.
Yeah.
Are there any other, novel approaches on the horizon?
Another area gaining momentum is the use of combination therapies.
Okay.
So this involves combining different weight loss medications
Right?
or pairing medications with lifestyle interventions.
So a more personalized and tailored approach then.
Precisely. It's about finding the right combo of tools that work best for each person.
Okay, this all sounds very promising.
Yeah.
But I imagine there are still, challenges and unanswered questions.
Of course, one of the key challenges is ensuring the long-term safety and effectiveness of these new treatments.
Right.
We need rigorous clinical trials and long-term follow-up studies.
Yeah, we don't want to repeat past mistakes with weight loss drugs that initially showed promise, but later turned out to have serious side effects.
Absolutely.
Another important consideration is accessibility and affordability.
Yeah.
Right? These new medications and technologies could be expensive.
Mm,
We need to make sure they're available to everyone who needs them,
yeah,
not just those who can afford them.
I completely agree. And beyond the scientific advancements, I think there's an equally important shift happening in the way we view weight loss as a society.
I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
There's a growing emphasis on body positivity, self-acceptance, and the importance of mental and emotional well-being.
Exactly. This shift in mindset is crucial because it allows us to focus on making healthy choices for the right reasons. For our overall well-being, not just to fit into a certain size.
It's about, finding a balance that works for us as individuals,
Yeah.
respecting our bodies and prioritizing our health in all its dimensions.
Beautifully put. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a few thought-provoking questions to ponder.
I'm all ears. What questions should we be asking ourselves as we navigate the world of weight loss and strive for a healthier, happier future?
Well, first, what does health truly mean to me? Is it just about weight, or is it something more holistic?
That's a powerful question. It encourages us to define health on our own terms, not based on societal expectations.
Right. Next, am I focusing on sustainable changes? Quick fixes rarely lead to lasting results.
It's about creating a lifestyle that supports our health goals without feeling restrictive or, punishing.
Exactly. And finally, am I being kind to myself? Weight loss can be challenging,
Oh, yeah.
and self-compassion is essential.
Absolutely. We all deserve to feel good in our bodies, regardless of our weight.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating our strengths, embracing our imperfections, and treating ourselves with kindness every step of the way.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, what are your final thoughts for our listeners?
Well, just remember this is your journey and it's unique to you. There's no right or wrong path as long as you're making choices that align with your values,
Right.
Prioritize your health and bring you closer to your goals.
That's a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all this incredible information.
It's been a pleasure.
To our listeners, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay kind to yourselves.
You're here.
Until next time, happy exploring.